Hello, comrades. How are you? Happy New Week. And thank you so very much for always tuning in, always listening to the Spills and Thrills podcast. And if this is your first time on the Spills and Thrills podcast, do not forget to subscribe, hit the like button because you're in for a long ride. It's going to be interesting. Don't worry. All right. So thank you so very much for joining us. Of course, my name is Kanyinsola Olukoya, and you are welcome to another episode on the Spills and Thrills podcast. I say that with so much, joy and pride. The best podcast in Africa, the best lifestyle podcast in Africa. Thank you so much for joining us once again. And today, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about something very interesting, right? So, a particular man called Hakimi was trending some weeks ago because of what happened with his wife. His wife actually sued for divorce. She wanted to divorce him and she was requesting for 50% of his properties. And when they got to the courts, they now found out that the man Hakimi did not actually have any properties registered under his name. And that was very weird because Hakimi is one of the richest players in Africa. He's a top guy. So he receives lots of money weekly. So how can a whole Hakimi not have any property registered under his name? That's how we now found out that it wasn't just that, right? It wasn't just that he did not have any properties registered under his name. It turned out that he transferred all his properties. He named them under his mother. So all his properties right now, including a single pen, anything that he has right now is under his mother's name. And because of that, his wife cannot, 50% of zero is what? Is zero. So she could not inherit anything. Then we had so many reactions online. We had men saying Hakimi is their hero, Hakimi is their zero, Hakimi is their everything. And we had females that were furious. They were like, this is wrong on all sides. Some men did not actually agree with Hakimi as well, while some women did not also agree with his wife. So today we're going to be talking about every single thing, about the Hakimi case, lessons learned from Hakimi. And to do this is none other than, the compare with no compare. You already heard his introduction,
So yeah,
Come on.
You know what time it is. All right, guys.
This is my friend.
All right. So I'm going to introduce myself again. My name is Maleek, for the record, and Hakimi is my mentor. I love that guy. He's an amazing man. We stand with Hakimi with everything that we have. Because why? Why not? What did Hakimi do? He did not do anything. Women, obìnrin. Ṣọ́ra fóbìnrin. Women. Hakimi didn't do anything. Apparently, let me correct you. You said something about 50% of his worth. I think it was more than. She was requesting for more than 50% of his entire net worth.
But they said it was 50%.
More than that. She was requesting for more than that. Close to 80%, Sef.
No.
Close to 80%, yeah. Different blogs carry on. But the blog where we read, where we see him from is because of the children, actually. It wasn't for ourselves only, for the children also. But the thing you guys fail to understand is that Hakimi is just trying to be safe. And the guy is a good boy. Hakimi is a good boy. He's a good boy because why? He said he transferred all of his properties to his mother because he's a good boy. And the mother, maybe they just feel like, he's a Muslim to start with. And, there is this thing in Islam where his property is his property. Once the woman dies, it goes back to, like, it's an automatic thing. It reverts back to the son. Like, it goes to the the direct heirs of the parent. So Hakimi's property is his property. Although they are in the name of the parent, no doubt. But, of the mother, actually, no doubt. But I feel like this thing is becoming a rampant thing in society where athletes majorly, they try to be very careful with how they approach things when it comes to having a woman as a wife, or let's say a baby mama. Because if you look at his mentors, like Ronaldo will never get married. That guy can never get married. Because he can never get married. I'm telling you facts.
Did he come out to say, I will never get married?
Okay. Let's just say he's going to get married eventually. But the reason you would see that guy not getting married, I know one of the reasons would be because of how this thing, has been happening. Look at Tiger Woods, for example. He's one of the greatest sportsmen in the world. Like, Tiger Woods is like top guy. So when that thing happened to him, when his wife, separated with him, like almost all of his wealth was gone. For somebody that was close to like his retiring stage, Do you get? There is really not much of thing that you can do to like get more money that you've already you've already had in your savings. And now one woman is going with almost like more than half of it. Do you get? Just Tiger Woods. But if you look at
One
somebody
woman.
like
One woman.
one woman, yeah.
One
The
woman.
wife, one woman.
Your wife. You could have just said your wife.
What? Okay, his wife.
Hakimi is my hero. Hakimi is my zero.
Again, let me say something again. There is this guy. I'm trying to remember someone now. I think this billionaire, Jeff Bezos.
Yes.
You know, that one, it was easy for him to like bounce back over time because he's an investor, he's a businessman.
I think he gave his wife like 25%.
I think about 30, yeah.
No, it's 25%.
25, yeah.
Yes.
So I think that kind of guy, yeah, he could actually just say, okay, you can go with 50% of it, but he knows there are investments
He has other.
that he's waiting for. So like maybe he's even on, maybe one of the investments might be on loan or something, a long-term loan that is yet to recoup back his interest. You get the gist. So at the end of the day, you might be able to survive that one over time. But
Yes.
an athlete, like even playing football yourself,
Trump
just
too,
exactly
yeah.
like playing the football, you might not really concentrate again because of what is going on. Look at this other guy too. I think one African, one Ivorian player, Eboué, Emmanuel
Yes, Emmanuel
Eboué.
Eboué. Yes.
Because Emmanuel Eboué wasn't really educated like that.
Aye.
Yeah, so his wife
dealt with him.
was basically the one handling all the documents.
He was just signing.
Financials.
He was just signing.
Just bring it, sign.
Hey.
Sign. And because he trusted his wife,
He
right?
lost all his money.
Everything.
He lost all his
The
properties
mansions.
in England. And what else did he lose
You know
again?
the gist is that before he became Emmanuel Eboué, he had one tiny apartment that he bought that he was living.
I think
not
somewhere in
quite much.
Africa.
No, in the UK. In the UK.
Still
I think
UK?
East London or there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, East London. So he had that apartment there, the way they were living before he now made mad money. Then he had that mansion where they are now living, which the wife, yeah, she actually put the mansion out for sale. Then she even claimed that property, that remaining one, that, you know, when they moved to the mansion, they left that one like it's our property, but let's just leave it. So this guy can't even go back to that house. Like he said, he couldn't like on the lights for a night because he feel like he doesn't want people to know that he's in the house. You get it?
He
So
was depressed.
so it's a loss for, and I get,
Everything.
and I think now even the agents for footballers now, I think they approach their players and tell them that if you want to get married or if you want to get entangled with somebody, this is the way to do it. Because now if you look at this guy, I want to remember one guy to end the gist. He's a basketballer in US. I think Steven Jackson or something. He's a basketballer in the US. Steven Jackson, that's his name. So I think this guy, what he was going to do is that he wanted to get married to this girl.
Okay.
They've been together for a while. And he asked this girl to sign the prenup.
Okay.
Like, okay, Pooh, let's just agree that even if anything's up, this is what you're going to get, this is what I'm going to get. So you don't come for my 50% or whatever. So this girl was like, okay, there's no time yet, we'll sign it. And they already picked the date for the wedding. Do you get? So it was like, I'm going to sign tomorrow, I'm going to sign next tomorrow. You know what this guy did? On the wedding day, my guy brought the documents to the wedding day, signed this thing before they join us together. And the babe was like, no, he just walked out of the wedding. He walked out of the wedding. And he has spent over $400K on that wedding, dresses, ring, all of that. Steven Jackson, that's his name, he's a basketballer, he's a US basketballer. So you could tell that this one, our motive was already like obvious from the onset. Do you get? So
yes.
Most of these women, yeah, I personally believe that, it's my opinion though. I think they just use this thing as like an investment measure. Like, I want to get married to an athlete, and after like a year, give him like 2 children, I'll just divorce this guy. I'm self-made, individually made, self-made, I'm a baddie. Go to Dubai and go and chop life with another man's 50%. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I understand.
So you cannot really blame Hakimi like totally and say what he did is, he didn't even expect that divorce is going to come up. Hakimi is a Muslim. Yeah, he married, via the English method of getting married to a wife, but in the long run, he's still a Muslim. If you check the World Cup, yeah, if you see the way they carry culture, religion, like he's from Morocco, you get, but at the end of the day, if a man dies in Islam, all your children, they have access to your properties, even your wives. You get?
Yes.
You get? So at the end of the day, it's not as if this guy wasn't doing enough. Like, he wasn't feeding the house, like he wasn't buying new stuff, he wasn't doing what he's supposed to do on the children. Like, what do you need the bastard money for if it's no wickedness?
My own point is, why did he have to trick her? Why did he have to deceive
It's not
her?
a trick.
Let me explain.
It's not a
Hakimi's
trick.
one is even better. There is
Okay.
this other person, I've forgotten his name, right?
Okay.
So this was what this particular person did. I'm going to check later. Oh shit, I just want to check for his name because I know I wrote it down somewhere. So what this particular person did, I hope I see it on time. So what he did, yes, Gabriel and Christiana's story. Let me give you the gist. This is what happened. So they got married, right? He now, like, he took her out of the country that they got married in, another country. Like, after like 4 months, she signed one document that she did not really know too much about. It was a divorce paper, right? Exactly. And they were married for 20 years.
Oh, I think I heard the gist. Like, they are old now.
So
yeah? They are
20
very old.
good years.
Yeah, I think I know that
she
gist.
did not know that the husband had divorced her like
a long time,
like 20 years
Yes.
ago.
So
do you understand? So when she now wanted to divorce him, because something happened that they wanted to get divorced and all of that,
Yeah.
then she now found out that she
had been divorced.
She had been
all along.
divorced since, and she cannot earn a penny.
Yes.
Hey, when I heard this story, like, I wanted to faint. I said, Jesus, man.
Yes.
Like, no, I'm actually serious. I'm not saying that these women, I'm not saying that some of them are not, like you said, some of them see marriage as an investment scheme, something for them to just blow.
Yes.
Do you get that kind of thing? But should that be the case? Should marriage be like that, where you do not trust your partner enough? I feel, you mentioned something. You said one of them, he brought the paper to their wedding.
Yeah.
You get, and he said, sign it, otherwise I'm not getting married.
Yes.
That is a man that is plain. That is a man that is truthful.
Yes.
You're saying he's a Muslim. I feel like truthful Muslims would let you know, before we get married. And it's not as if you don't know. These things have happened
If they
to
had
your
gotten married, let me say, if they had gotten married through the Sharia law, like the Islamic law,
okay,
like, it's okay, you got married to this woman, this is your wife.
Okay.
Like, the Sharia law has like principles that you don't even need to walk into a court to say, okay, after if you want to file for a divorce, this is what, like, when a man divorces his wife in Islam, there are certain things that, like, automatic, you give it to her. But it's not up to 50%, no doubt. But then the gist is that they got married via the English way of getting married, so it's under the law. But I think,
but can't they like have like a plan? Like, okay, this is it. We're getting married.
Yes.
Through
that's where the prenup thing comes in. The Stephen Jackson thing. That's like the solution to everything. That's what, like, the thing is,
because you're saying that Hakimi is your hero.
Let me tell
so
you.
that means you are subscribing to
no.
What's the word? I'm trying to look for a good word for what Hakimi did.
No, let me tell you something. Yeah, I think we've seen ladies. We've seen women divorce their men. They got married through the English method.
Yes.
They divorce their men, but they are not requesting as much as a 50%. They will just demand for maybe the mansion that they are staying. Just give me this house,
wife.
then give me maybe 10% of what you have for me and my children. I don't want. There are women like that. But when you start asking for somebody's like entire career, like half of it, like it's uncalled for. If you ask me, like, okay, what do you want you to do? It's as if you are trying to be wicked. That's the point. Because let me tell you something about athleticism here. Football has to do with a mental. You have to be organized mentally. Like, if you look at the Ronaldos, the Messi, they are very good, no doubt. But the fact that their mental state is that when I'm walking on the pitch, I won't go win. Let me just leave what is behind me. It happened to this guy in Manchester United, Martial Anthony. He's married. He has a very good family. He's from a good family. But he had one tiny issue with his wife along the line. But you could see it in the way he played for Manchester United. That time that he had that issue. Like, you could see the way, like, his head is not in the game again. Now imagine Hakimi, somebody just came and just say, okay, I want it. He might not even need the money. Because when you're giving your mother, like, all your wealth, it seems as though you don't really care about money. That's what I see about Hakimi. I see him as somebody that doesn't really care about the money per se. Let me just play football and just be good. Let me just live comfortable life. Do you get? But the gist is that Hakimi doesn't want to end up retiring from football and have nothing to fall back on. Do you get the gist? So if Hakimi wants to be playing football for like 10 years straight, let him play football for 10 years straight and give his mother the property. The mother will not take it anyway. If she dies, it will go back to Hakimi. So it's like a security for him. You guys can say that it's a trust issue.
Yes.
But women, if women get 5 naira today now, they go 30, then they broke. They get 10 million, I'm broke. They have 20 million, I'm broke. But if a guy does the same thing, you say it's trust issue. He's kinekon. He has not done too much, if you ask me. I think where we did a lot,
you gave me a perfect scenario.
Yeah, I think
you
where you could
told
have
me
fought
just
Hakimi.
now You told me just now that there was a player or a guy before he got married. He brought papers.
He's aware now. That's awareness.
So Hakimi will say he wasn't aware.
Let me tell you something.
Hakimi wasn't aware, and he did what he did. He transferred all his. He did not even transfer 80%.
Just chill. But then he still had some stuff in his name. He's not as worse as the media said he is. At least his cars could be in his mother's name, but there will be one car that will be in his name. Last, maybe the one that the team gave him, and the house that they are living.
So what are you saying?
This look. Let me tell you something here.
They said all his properties.
Hakimi won't
They
divorce
did not
that
have
babe.
anything.
You know, Hakimi is not leaving the babe. It's the babe that wants to leave Hakimi. If the babe wants to go now, Hakimi will not say because this babe is leaving him now. He will just leave the babe to just go like that without giving her anything. It's like that will not happen because someone that is giving his mother all of his wealth. What does he want to use? What does he want to use?
He did not hear the news. He's not giving her Simbine.
And because she initiated this now, it's like see, just chill. It's because.
Do you know the cause of the divorce?
I didn't even read. I swear.
Let me explain.
Okay,
according to what I heard, allegedly, right?
Okay.
You know that whatever it is I'm going to say is going to lead us to our next discussion, right? Which is going to be like age factor, right? Hakimi got married at 22. He is currently 24, so he's going to be 25 this year. Now, his wife is 12 years older than him. Odin 12 years, right? So there's a whole lot to talk about that, right? I have some questions as regards to that, but then to me, personally, I feel like they would have different priorities at the time. Hakimi is young, is in his prime.
Yes.
Right? He would want to explore. I'm not saying that gives him the right to do whatever it is that he's doing because nobody forced you to get married. You got married.
Course.
Do you get? Nobody forced you. But when you get married, there's certain responsibilities, there's certain things that you have to drop behind, right? But then, according to what I heard, or allegedly, right, he still wanted to explore and all of that, and his wife was complaining about that.
Explore in what aspect? Do you mean like he wants to be with other females?
Go out more, not stay with his family. And there are many things that his wife has not said yet, but these are the things that she has said that I've held on to. Then aside that, right, then so they've been having issues in their marriage, right? Then we just heard all of a sudden one day that another lady allegedly, claimed that he almost raped her.
That Hakimi almost raped her.
Yes, Hakimi almost. Did you hear that story?
I didn't.
Hakimi actually almost raped. So that was like the straw that broke the camel's back for her, because on and off, their marriage wasn't really smooth, but she was still managing, right? She was still managing, and she had not come out to say anything. Yeah. But when that story started trending, when she came out, she did not come out to defend her husband. We're friends now. If you do something, right? If they say, okay, Maleek, God forbid, Maleek raped somebody. If I come outside, because I know you very well, I'm just saying in quotes, I can come out to say, I know Hakimi. I know Maleek. Yeah. When you are saying I'm Hakimi, you're Hakimi. So I know Maleek, right? I might not be able to, but then I don't think this is something that Maleek would do on a normal day. That's as a friend. I get not you. To talk of a wife.
I get you.
I don't know. So, but then she came out and she said she would always be on the side of the victim, or that she did not support her husband. She did not, and you know that this can actually be detrimental to his career.
Yes.
Because now he's coming out to say he's not. If you read the story very well, it's coming out is denying all the facts.
Yes.
But then, if anything happens and it turns out that he did, or the court says he did, it might end his career.
It might end his career, but
do you understand?
Yeah, it might end his career.
It might end his career, but she didn't.
I think all of these things, I think it still boils down to the agreement, boils down to the rule of law. Yeah, I think illiteracy, unexposure, I think all of these things, like all of them coin together, are the reasons why most of these players, or even the wives, they fall into most of these controversies, fights here and there. Because if you claim to love somebody that you claim to be your, for better for worse, there are certain times where fight is going to occur, like certain things are going to happen in the marriage. Like all of our parents, as they are doing 30 years anniversary, Kineka anniversary, it's not as if there are some points where they'll be like, this man, I just hate this guy, make I just come up for this house. But because you just feel like his marriage, you just have to walk through it, especially when it's very, very toxic. But there are some instances where like simple, small things that you can just resolve, but then you'll be like, he's going late nights, party, like simple things. But I think the law doesn't really state that. Okay, this is the basis.
She said something.
This is the basis for
I want to even read
what you can use to instigate a divorce. Do you get? So any woman can just wake up one day and say, his inconsistency is becoming too much. I'm beginning to suspect so many things. Is like you can just claim something to the court, and the court gives women like more more power when it comes to stuff like this. So
she said something like she was like, after having taken the decision to legally separate and to stop living together whilst awaiting the divorce procedure, which you can imagine, on top of the pain brought about by the separation. Did you hear? On top of the pain brought about by the separation, right? As well as having to accept the sadness that a failed project, which I gave my body and soul, brings. Let me even pause, right? For her to say this, because Hakimi already knows that if you leave Ajay, we could collect Shingbai.
Yes.
Do you understand? So there can be that I don't care attitude. But if he knows that he has many things to lose, right? He might even decide to work on his marriage, to even do more. But because you are playing smart in marriage, right? Because by the time you, as a man, okay, let's assume you want to get married, you don't have anything to lose. You don't have anything to show me. You don't have anything to fight for. I'm the one that will probably be fighting until I am tired, I'm exhausted, right? Then I want to leave. And you're not even showing any form of remorse.
I feel you.
Do you understand? So there's a whole lot of background story that you people are not saying. You're just saying Hakimi. Then she said, which I gave my body and soul to, right? Let's continue.
I feel like we are basically working with what we have online.
Yes.
What we've read,
and that's what we are.
What we've
that's
said.
what everything we're saying is allegedly. Yes.
We don't know what's going on behind closed door. But what I'm going to say about this thing is that the fact that this guy is playing safe, you should not blame him that because he directed all of his properties to his mother. Don't blame him, because even the woman herself, the wife herself too, she knew what she was getting herself into, like the marriage. She knew what she was going to be like. Okay, last, so if anything even so up, I go get 50% of what this guy has. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So if Hakimi says, okay, all of the things that I have, I'm giving it to my parents or in my parents' name whenever I'm done with football. It could be like an agreement, like, okay, whenever I'm done with football, I can just go back to what I have. Or maybe even the mother might have seen from the wife's perspective, like, this one, where her face be like this, I don't trust them.
And it's obvious that the mother doesn't even like.
Now the gist is
because
that let me end
she was
this.
like, I'm so happy that he was smart, because the mother claimed that she did not know that the son changed, and you are
it's a
receiving
strategy.
a lot.
Let me tell you something here. It's a strategy. Why? Because even the wife here, she said somebody allegedly claims that Hakimi almost raped her or raped her.
Yes.
Right? Whatever the case is. What if we watch movies all the time? She can always pay that person and somebody just come out and say something. She can always pay somebody just bring out something that I can just tie down to this person. We see dirty lawyers do that to their client because they want to win a case. They know it's very, very hard. Just pin something down on that other person and we can use that as leverage in the court of law. So it could be both ways. Hakimi was just smarter. Sefini. And besides, let me say something for the record. All the women in the world, they want Hakimi as a son, but not as a husband or man. They don't want him as a husband, but as a son. As a mother, from the mother's perspective, be happy that I'll share mommy or Gbon or Diki. But as the wife, and from the wife angle, they be like, this is wrong. But you want to have Hakimi as a son. See, eventually, all this thing is just a movement. We are all young now. We can just say it from our own perspective. But our parents will say it from different perspectives. They've seen so many things in life, but they be like, there are women that are wicked. There are wicked women. There are wicked men. That's the way it is.
I like how you said it. They are wicked women.
Yes.
After you now said that, you now said they are wicked men.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, just everybody should just pray to marry somebody that is kind and God-fearing. Sefini. All these ones. Just bang.
But regardless,
if you like,
I honestly do not think that he should. Fine, we know that they are wicked men, right? We know that they are wicked women, but still be transparent. Not like, but let them know.
Should have known from the onset, yeah.
Yes, now you sign.
But I don't know the money that she's been getting. Why can't she invest? Why can't she be rich? Why can't she be self-made?
If you're signing this, you already know
why
that
can't she
guy.
be self-made?
If you are living,
let me tell you something.
You are not living with one kobo.
Apart from,
no matter what the court says, or you are living with so, you are signing it. Since you already, as soon as you append your signature like this, OT law. So if you want to leave, no wahala, you already know what's on ground. But you deceiving, Abba. I am not
deceiving.
I am when they ask me, right, what do I think about this whole thing, right? I'm not supporting Hakimi and I'm not blaming him entirely. At the same time, I'm not supporting his wife and I'm not blaming her entirely, right? Because I really feel like Hakimi could have done better. You gave me a perfect example, which I'm going to hold on to and I'm going to say all through this podcast, right? Let me know what I'm going into, right? See, just like now, you have another wife outside. You're not getting married to me. You don't want me to know. You don't tell me. That's equivalent to you lying.
Yeah, I know.
You are not telling me that you have another wife outside.
But that one is extreme, yeah. From the initial,
yes.
From the initial, he might have assigned all of his properties to his mother. But I'm going to tell you something for a fact that alongside, as he married,
if it was before they got married, they would have talked. They would have told us.
So let me tell you something. I know the courts we do their own due diligence to do proper research. If the agreement says along the line, they made provision for maybe along the line, you now diverted your property to another person's name. When you say that when you envisage like maybe there's a divorce coming on, you now along the line moved your properties in another person's name. Maybe the law can see all this is about. It's about documentations and stuff. I know that's what I'm saying. So we cannot generalize and say that this guy played smart on the wife, or maybe he betrayed her, or the trust wasn't there, or something like. It could be both ways. See, let me tell you something. People marry for different reasons, though. Like in this age that we are, yeah, people marry for different reasons. His own reason might have not been like, okay, I want to marry because I love this woman, or I want to be with this woman for the rest of my life. But maybe the woman is giving him something that, she's giving him a different in war other girls of his age or something might not really have at that moment when he's trying to get married to her. And he might not have even done this because of maybe a future divorce or something. It could be both ways, like different ways. Like, we are not seeing what is going on behind closed doors. It's just the media. What the media is just pushing in our face that we are seeing.
Is it something you can do?
Something I can do. First of all, I'm not even marrying a court. To even start with, I'm not doing that legal thing. I can't.
Why?
Because I can't.
Why?
First off, if I have bastard money like those athletes, I cannot. I won't even get married. Just be like Raheem Sterling. Have 3 baby mamas, have 3 children. Live soft life. Have your mansion. You have your mansion. You have your mansion. My mama said, go get her own mansion. Then I go get my money. My money is my money. Their money is their money. It's as simple as that. Life no hard. See, let me tell you something. The moment you die like this, bam, to lover, you are gone. But when you are in this life, you took years to raise a certain amount of money, like mad wealth, and you are in your retirement stage. Somebody just come, takes like almost everything. You cannot really work to get them back. Look at Ronaldo now. He has mad hotels. He has a fashion brand. So somebody will come and take all of it. It's not done. It's not done. So I can't. I won't even marry through the English process. I won't do that. I won't. I'll just do normal Nigerian way. I'm a share in the car. I'm a share engagement. I'm a share Nigerian reception. Document. Document anything. No. You're not documenting anything that you're married to Kenekon.
So you're not marrying for love. You just want to.
That's not the vibe. It's not about for love. I'm marrying for love, of course. But I'm not marrying to be in a.
How many women do you want to love, Hakimi?
One, at least one, Sha. At least one.
You want to get married to one?
Yes.
No. You want to get married to one?
Yes, at least one.
At least one.
Yes.
And you're married for love?
Yes, no.
Okay. But you cannot,
You lot define love like the novel and movie standard. Love is not movie, it's not film. Can you take a bullet for a man?
Tell me what love is.
Can you take a bullet for a man?
Tell me what love is.
Are you in a relationship first?
No, I'm not.
You are not. You've been in a relationship, yeah?
Yes, I have.
In the past, yeah? Can you take bullets for those men?
We are not married.
Can you take bullets for those men?
Like,
if those men they were caught with cocaine in their boots or weed in their boots, can you take the stand for them and be like, "Give me money"?
Because of what?
That's love in the novel. The way you guys define it.
That can't
that's
be
the way you guys define it.
That's love. Don't tell me that's love.
No.
You cannot even tell me that.
Are you like joking?
Sorry, they caught you with cocaine. How is that my business?
If you claim to love me, like for better for worse, you will stand for your man and be like, because you are the one making the money, and till about loans about me first.
Number one, I will have to even know the source of your wealth, right? That's why you will not see me dating a.
Oh, so you are playing safe. You are playing safe. You want me to set off his wealth?
Of course,
why not just
that you are a standard.
Marry this man regardless of what he's doing. That's love.
I don't understand.
That's love.
No, that's not love. That's not love.
All right, define love.
That's not my standard. Okay,
what's the
That's not my
extent?
standards, right?
What's the extent?
For me, right? No, there's certain people that I would not date.
Okay.
Right. For instance, now, I am not somebody that likes to go to the club.
Okay.
Right? I don't like going there because it's not my
not your
lifestyle.
Yeah,
Do you
I
get?
feel you.
I've gone there once with my friends.
And you don't
because I wanted to see
what it
how
looks like.
exactly. I've gone there once with my friends, and when I got there, I was even sleepy. I was just bored. So imagine dating somebody that is all about that lifestyle. It's the life of the party. I'm not saying it should not be life of the party. I like
nightlife.
But nightlife.
Like, once you want to have fun, it's always
no.
club.
I'm a homebody. I like to stay at home with my guy and everything. Exactly. So that's the kind of person I'll be looking out for. So that's where compatibility comes in. So we have to be compatible. The same thing with your work, right? If you're doing a job that I am not comfortable with, right? I'm sorry, I don't think we would work, right? Because maybe you're always at home during the day, and at night like this, you are going with mask. Do you understand? So we're not compatible. So there's a place of compatibility, regardless of if I love you or not, right? So I cannot be somebody that's carrying cocaine, but in the name of Jesus, because
I don't shock on me, but no patient of shame.
So I cannot. You get? So I cannot relate. I don't know if you get me. So definitely, I cannot come and take the stand. For if it's something else now, I don't know if you saw.
I think there are extents to what we call love.
There are extents, of
but
course.
But all these all those ones, it's just fabu. Last one is no. So I feel like if you say, because I'm marrying for love, obvious, I don't want to marry somebody that is not my friend to even start with.
Do you get?
Look at me now. I can't marry person. I go talk once, you know if you relate. I go talk to, I go explain joke, give you.
You get?
For how long do you get?
For how long will you do that?
So those are things that you consider, no doubt. But in the long run, it's not like you're not married for love. Mm-hmm. You're just like protecting your future. Like you're working for a very long time.
Yes.
And you're looking at a retirement stage. That what's gonna be my end time? Look at
Maleek,
this guy now.
Is what. Okay.
Look at this guy now. All these fraud boys that they eventually arrest them or something in the long run. They might seize all of their properties. But I used to think that they can't be that dumb to just allow, the agencies to just seize all of their properties. They would have put some of those properties in people's name that are maybe not related to them, but just that trustees, like someone that I trust very well. Let me just buy one house in this guy's name. So when I'm even out of jail or something, I can just come back to something to start with. Get what I'm trying to say? So there are different perspectives to just being safe. See, being safe doesn't mean that I don't love this person. Like one of my friends who says an Igbo boy. He has, I don't want to cast him because everybody knows I have only one Igbo friend. So he's an Igbo boy, but he said something one time. He said women are, I don't know, he said something about them, but he said something like if he has like 1 million naira enough, like in his account now, he's going to sell his babe that he has like 400k in his account. Why? Because when he buys you a hair worth over 300k from the money that he's getting, you value him more. You just see this guy, this guy is doing a lot of things for me. Like he's doing a lot. So you be like, this guy is trying hard for me.
Yes.
But when he has 1 million and tell you that I have 1 million and I give you like 200k out of the 1 million, women will be like, out of all the money that he got, that is a normal thing. Even if you don't want to say it, if you don't want to even act it, your instinct. But
that's entitlement.
Yeah, it just tell you that, and I was expecting more, that kind of thing. So it goes both. It doesn't mean that he doesn't love this person,
but entitled to somebody else's money.
So that's the way it is. Like I'm just being safe. It doesn't mean I don't love you. I do love you. See, but I don't want to have. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, if you marry through there is no media that you don't marry through in this era that we are now.
Okay.
And they don't give like women the maximum edge or the maximum advantage. Like in Sharia now, if you marry a woman and this woman says she's tired of the marriage, she wants to leave this marriage, the only thing they will just do is they will allow you to stay in the house for I think 30 to 60 days while you are doing the processing of divorce. They'll be like, you guys have to sleep in the same room. The reason why they do that is because they want to know if you want to. Yeah, you might be like one tiny that just caused it, that just instigated that. So maybe over time you can be like, as a change mind, but if the woman insists that, or maybe she said that that place is not safe for her, she won't be in that house. So there are rules to all of these things. So if she's going and she's living with they will ask her to go with the custody of the female. I think the female children will be with her, but the male children will be with her until maybe they are of 18, 19. So there are rules and there are ways to do things. And they still give the women the edge, like over time.
I understand.
And you see, we children, when we grow up naturally, we tend to love our mothers more than our fathers.
Yes.
So everything is built
males.
to, people just say society is built to like favor men. But if you look at it very well,
females love their dads, so
I'm not arguing. But let me tell you, if females have bastard money finished, see, it's not as bad as the mother always have this higher level of advantage. Like it's natural like that. So at the end of the day, yeah, everybody's just trying to be safe.
I understand, Maleek, but my own point.
Don't say because of that thing that.
You see, I'm not blaming Hakimi fully. The reason being, what if his wife was just a very wicked person? Imagine what she would have gone with his money and should have left him. Should have left him ruined at his young age. Do you get? I understand that. However, I feel like, for him to transfer all, he might not even say it's transferring all. For instance, now they already signed from the beginning. You've signed. If you are leaving, this is what you are getting. This is not what you are getting. Do you get? So even if he now transfers his properties to his mom's name, it's not your business. We already have a deal. I don't know if you get me. It's the same thing I would say. If you were dating, right?
Maybe if you had transferred majority of his property to the parents and he has some that are quite worthy of something of value,
okay,
maybe the narrative would have changed. At least she has something to get 50% off. But it's the fact that she had zero,
like 50%
zero
of
euro, like zero. I think that's where the problem is.
Do you understand? So I just feel like it would have just been.
But you know,
different.
there are two ways also.
Okay.
Hakimi too could have been a victim in the sense that, what if he has a wicked mother? Like the Nollywood mother.
Hey!
You know what I'm talking about?
People started churning out content.
And they even said something about giving sowing a seed with Hakimi. You get what I'm saying? So he could have lost in that sense too. But he knew the kind of mother that he had. He knows he's the mother. The mother might not even be someone that even, like, there are people in this, like, I won't like, there are people in life that they just want to be comfortable. Let me just have soft, like, make I just
I like that you're saying this.
Make I just day.
Some Hakimi's fans, Hakimi stand fans.
All right, so
if your mommy is the typical Nollywood mommy,
do you get? So don't even bother to do that. So
gone.
At the end of the day, yeah, you just realize that there are people in this life that they don't really fancy this worldly wealth like that. Like there's this billionaire in Saudi Arabia. He's quite old. I think it's close to like 80 something, but he's still very much healthy. He's one of the billionaires in Saudi Arabia, and as at a month ago, he just distributed like half of his wealth. I'm talking about billions, like mad billions. I cannot remember the numbers, like in dollars, to just the needy within the country. Like just share across, just like half of his wealth. Then he gave his children the rest of it, and he was like, let me just be comfortable with my house and just continue living my life like. So there's some people that maybe they've gotten money to an extent, and they be like, money can never be enough. That's the truth. Yeah. But some people really have content in this, like they are very contented with what God has given them in this life. So if they have like $5 billion, they are cool with $500,000. Just live my life. So long as I have like a cash flow somewhere coming in for my food, for my well-being, I'm good. So not be everybody they carry. I want to have bastard money. No, not be everybody want to become Dangote. And that's it. Like there's something like
some
that.
People that actually
I just want to be.
They are just
there. I just want day. There's some people like that. So maybe the mother is that kind of person. I'd be like, my mother is not doing anything. Let her just hold this. Let me just live my life first. Or maybe when they got married when he was young, he was young. Like he was young.
Which brings me to the age factor.
He was young. Like he was very young when this happened.
Can you date somebody that is 12 years older than you as a man?
I think, like they'll say, it's not a yes or no answer. But they said something about age not being a factor when it comes to having a partner. Because at the end of the day, we realize that somebody that's like as young as 16 years old, they have a kind of mindset of 35, 40 years old. Like, so age is just a number. Really. But it depends on, I think 12 years for me is too much. I think max for me should be like 5, 7 years. I think that's
older than you.
But there are some hot women that when they're in their 40s, they'll be like 20-something years old. Those women. Okay. Some people like, don't let me mention celebrities' name, but
yes, we know them.
You know them. So these women, maybe they were married, they had issues, they like your vibe. For example, the way I'm hosting events now. In the future, Grammy calls me to come and host one of their awards show, and I have a manager who is quite older than me, who knows the ways of managing my career and all of that and doing everything. And I feel this person is, thank you very much, someone like that. And this one is really, really engulfed in my career and all of that. And I feel if I one day something will just strike and that's it. I think that's the same thing for Hakimi too. This woman that might have been there for him during those times. It might have been like a mother or something, but the other girls don't go really enter in eye. Like this person is just
Yes.
different from all of them.
Yes.
So I think this is something I think I can actually consider. But meeting somebody that is, sometimes you might even approach people and you don't even know if they're even older than you. I met somebody at a wedding, happens to be a photographer, a lady.
Okay.
Then we started talking. I got the contact from the groom and we started talking. And I didn't realize that she was like, I think about 4 years older than me, but she was looking way younger. But I didn't know. But the vibe was just there. It clicked.
You guys
So,
connected.
Yeah, so the
So age
age doesn't really matter. But 12 years, you know, when you people,
But
they are,
let's
you know,
12
you know,
years.
you know, wise people, they are, most of them are very, very healthy. And you know, they eat good food, they watch their weight. So 12 years might really not be, it might just be on
If you
in
see
the
their
book.
pictures, like you
Yeah,
wouldn't
you will
know.
look, yes. It might just be like a book thing. But when I'm looking at somebody, I'm not looking at the 32 or 35 years old person or 40 years old person when I'm 20. But I'm looking at somebody that is looking like 25 when I'm 22. You get that what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's the gist. So I can be with anybody. But I think that age too is something in Nigeria. But I think if the person is looking, I don't know,
The
Sha.
person doesn't really look.
I've not
the
been there,
age,
but
right?
I've been there, but I've not been there. But 12 years, I think, is just a lot. A lot.
I think for females, for some
But for
females,
female, I think that one's my
it's a bit you know
I don't think
rampant,
it's a problem. I
right?
don't think it's a problem.
You know,
Yeah.
some females would prefer matured men.
Yes.
That's what they want.
Yes.
Right. So that's the
Yes.
one I really know of. But then
Over time, it has always been like that. But
then
because we have
I know of
this
I know of
evolution
females
of
that have
we're
gotten
having,
married
we're having
to-
guys at 24 becoming millionaires. Like tech is into it. People are doing cinematography. You know, we don't get money as our 23, 24. So ladies are now like, I can actually be with this guy. He's doing well.
Which brings me
but
to
I think
the-
most
okay.
of the time, ladies will go for the more matured one because they know that these people, one, they're already working. Maybe she's still in uni, and this guy's already done with uni. He's already working. He has an apartment. He's doing well.
Yes,
he has
he's
a
ready
car,
to settle
ready
down.
thank you very much. So they be like, let me just invest my life in this guy and just have a
doesn't
good
want
life.
to
I don't want to be
roam around
so you
and
get- But
start
now the narrative
exploring.
changed because we have younger guys having bastard money and the fraud boys too.
The
They're
main
just
question now
infecting
would be,
society.
what is the ideal age for a man, you know, to get married? Because Hakimi got married at 22, you know, 21, 22-ish, right?
I think
you know, normally, because I used to hear growing up that for females, I used to hear, oh, please, allegedly, that females from 21 is fine. For
Okay.
men, 25. So it's not like
It's not a general
it's not
principle.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
it's
what I'm
not
going to
a
explain
stated
now.
rule. But
The
it's something
gist
I
is-
used to hear growing up.
The gist is in a Yoruba land, before evolution,
Yeah.
before internet, before the discovery of, okay, I want to marry at this age, it is always she otile to okoshe. What that simply means is that for a man, can you actually carry out the duty of being a husband? Can you actually carry a duty of being a husband? So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have like bastard money, you have a house in a Yoruba home. You can marry your wife in your parents' house. It's allowed, you know. Same thing, Islamic perspective too. It says once a boy gets to a stage of balaga in English, you know, matured stage where you can wrong right from wrong. He's saying he's prudent enough to think of, okay, yes, he's matured enough to, when I touch a woman, I have a feeling, I have arousal. Like when he's matured, if he has the capacity to marry, he should marry. So during those days, people married as young as 16, 17, young
Men.
It would be like a boyfriend and girlfriend thing. Like you when they are very early in the stage, so they will grow up loving each other over time. But for the ladies, it's almost like when they are matured to same thing with the young ladies too.
Yeah.
But if you look at those era, yeah, like it's like evolution. This is our time, yeah. You will see like a girl of 11 years old. She's already like, she's looking like someone of 20 something years old. Do you get? So all these things are actually very relative. It depends on the society and how the genetics work in that
Yes,
area. Yeah.
yes.
That's another angle. The Igbos, they be like, if you want to get married, guys get money. Like that's the big, you know, if you just go marry anyhow, because the bride price is very
It's
very expensive. So there are different perspectives to it. But me
Different.
personally, I'll
Yes.
just say, so long as I have money and I'm good. If I get money now, bastard money, and I go marry, I don't be get it at the waist from.
Yes.
The street is evil. Everybody know that. Just find one babe. They manage the winch. They push them.
No, just find
I'm
the
just
one
joking
that's
on that, but I'm
perfect
just
for you.
saying
Don't
that.
mind him.
You just-
Women are not witches.
You just
But, on a-
Obìnrin, hey, women, you gotta trust woman.
on a more
So what I'm
serious-
just saying basically,
on
I
a-
think Lagos, Nigeria, once you're done with uni, you have a job. If you are earning, let's say, let me just give a range in Lagos, Nigeria. If you are earning between like 200 to 500, let me like 200 to 500 within that range, and you don't have responsibility, like you don't have like direct aburos, direct cousins, like maybe you're just a child that they fed you up to university, but yeah, you don't really have like responsibilities like that. If you have somebody that you are serious with, I think you can just be with that person and plan with that person.
What it's saying now is relative, because
actually,
it might be anything that you're earning, but whatever it is that you're earning, just make sure that you can take care. You can take care of yourself comfortably. Yes, you can take care of yourself comfortably, right? Without any, fine. There'll be, but then you are fine. You're comfortable, right? Then you can also take care of another person. Now, not just another person alone, another person again, because if you guys get married, what if she gets pregnant? What's going to happen?
But the gist is that at the end of the day, there's no perfect time to say, okay, now I'm set. Exactly. Because like I said earlier, Kanyinsola, money can never be enough. So what I might regard as a good TV set might not be what you regard as good TV. I might have like a 64-inch TV. You'll be like, no, this is not what I want. I want a 110-inch standard.
Exactly. That's why I said it's relative.
I don't want to live in a mini flat. You want to live in a 2-bedroom apartment. I don't want to live in somebody's house. I want to have my own house. So it's relative.
Exactly. So it's relative.
Like you said. So at the end of the day, I feel like it still boils down to what job you're doing, what the person you are getting married to is interested in, what is their view of what you're earning, and how can we cope with this. People live, it don't be this Lagos, people live on 60k salary. Do you know that? People that work for the government, they get as 80k, ridiculous salary that you hear.
And they still get married.
Today while I was coming here at the first station, we realized that there are older men at the what's it called? No, at the fuel station itself. Before, we used to have young girls, young boys at the fuel station that they does the dispensing of fuel. What's the English?
The fuel attendants.
Yes, those guys. We felt before it used to be like young guys from secondary school. They would just give you like 10k. You collect 15 naira from each keg. That's the way they survive after jam. But now we are now finding like older men, like family men, doing that job. Then the driver was telling us that they are not paying them up to 30k, that's like 15,000-20,000 naira. So the word was like, how are they now feeding themselves or their family? But it still boils down to what you guys see as comfortable.
Do you get?
Now our eyes don't open. They will give you job now. Our Gen Z will say the money is too much, it's too ridiculous, it's too small.
Yeah.
They offer you, they'll be like, no, this
but
is not
if you offer it to them, they'll be like, hey!
Thank you very much.
Well, the money that
even
some
our
of us
parents,
are
when
rejecting,
your parents know that you bought your iPhone for certain price, you cannot even tell them the real price.
That's what
you cannot tell them.
Tell your parents.
So it's actually relative. So
except your parents that are out there that know. But the ones that at home,
there was this thing one time where somebody said, a pastor asked her how much she got an iPhone 12. She now said that she got the phone for like 50k or something.
She lied.
The man said that he was going to transfer 100k to us to help him get two for two of his children. Like, so she was like, no, she didn't know what to do. She brought it on Twitter. Like, what is she going to do now? Because she couldn't tell the man that she got it for this price, because they would say that was too much. He would let him roll, that kind of thing. So it's really, really relative.
Exactly. So we're going to take some reactions online, right? So this person says, I don't support Hakimi and do not also support the woman who wanted to get his money through divorce. But Hakimi is guilty when you consider that registering his property in his mother's name came before the divorce. So what do you have to say about this?
Came before the divorce.
Yeah, she said that she doesn't support Hakimi and she does not support the woman, right?
The fact that he moved his properties to his mother's name, they said before the divorce. We don't know how long the before is. We don't know if it's like 2 years before, 3 years before. But Maleek,
some people are saying some things like why is the wife not, like, women should go and work now that they will be trying to earn their husband's money through divorce. And I have my own reservations on that. Let me explain why. Most times women, the work that women do in the house, let's assume now that we're married, for instance. Now you go out to work, right? Then I sustain the home. right? Sometimes because of our family, maybe we started giving birth, right? I might have to like drop some of the things that I love to do because of the kids. I don't know if you get some women. Some women, they sacrifice their dreams, they sacrifice their passion, they put their life on pause.
Yes.
Some women, when they are pregnant, they go through a whole lot. You know, you hear of women saying that when they were pregnant, they couldn't do anything, they were sick. Almost all through. During that period that they were sick, do you think they will work?
No. Of course not.
So there are things, then there are household works that they will do that you cannot pay for.
Of course not.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So all of that, imagine you guys have now been married for a considerable number of years, then let's assume that the breakup is coming from the man. Who is going to get more affected?
Yeah, the woman.
The woman.
Definitely.
I just wanted to bring this. I just wanted us to understand. To understand.
To add to that, yeah. I think my own mantra is that no woman should go into a marriage and say, I just want to be there. I don't want to work. Work cannot be work like we see it in the 9 to 5
You would work,
day.
but then would it
now,
be
I'm getting somewhere.
Do you guys have
okay. I have like a first-hand knowledge, first-hand experience about when it comes to how women get treated when you are not working. For example, my father died when I was 2. I barely know this man. My mom doesn't know how to work, or she doesn't have a job at that moment. I know me and my other siblings would have suffered a lot. We still suffer though, but that suffer not be suffer we don't suffer, like trenches suffer. But the fact that the woman could actually do something by herself, she had something going on at that moment. It wasn't that much, but she had something going on. At least to still be able to feed, at least everyone, like get food, get clothes, like just the regular things that you need. Do you get me? These are really important things that we need to talk about too. But now going into the perspective of the Hakimi and the people, those people, they have bastard money. So they can afford not to work if anything happens to the guy. The guy can lose his job. It can be charged for fraud, for embezzlement. It might be charged for rape, and they will do something to it might be charged for murder. It might be charged for different things that is not even maybe he died or anything. So you at the woman's end might be a very huge loss on her. What if it's an investment that she doesn't even know how to manage? She'll be subject to like selling it out to go and start from somewhere. So what I'll just instruct is that every woman should just try to know how to do something. Although most of your dreams, you will still cut them short because there is no doubt about that.
And you cannot get that time back.
You will give birth, you will do whatever, all the processing, you will keep the home in order because me personally, I'm talking for myself now. I know it's not everything I like to do. When it comes to house chores, cleaning, washing, I can be very lazy with that. And the women are very, very quick to do this stuff. So you cannot expect them to be doing all of that and then still wants them to be working like a nice way, like the way you are working.
Even if they are working, right? But then to not be as effective as it would be if they were not.
She's at a space where they are making a lot of money. So what I'm going to say about that is that what you would have said is that she should use her own money to buy shares, buy stock. You guys are familiar with all this. Like, it's there. Because you have the money. You can just put the money there and just forget. It's your investment. Investment is your job. So if anything happens to it, it's my thing is my thing. So that's my point. So I feel like Hakimi did this girl dirty.
He did her dirty.
In the sense that what he could have done, what I would have done was I have this money. Can afford to buy a house in Paris, UK. Buy her something. Let her have a thing. Let her have something going on for her. So that's it, basically. That's what I think Hakimi should have done, or any athlete in this life should have. If I be athletes,
yes,
that's what I would have done. All of my wives, all of my babies, I'm gonna get them their own property.
How many babies do you intend to get?
I don't know, but if I'm an athlete, you know what I'm talking about. Let's like at least 1, 2, 3, 4 shall max. You know what I'm talking about. So all of them would just
He's joking.
When they did that day, this one get her own house, get her own cars, her own fleet of cars. Everybody just because they have the money. He's earning over like close to $1 million a month.
You know the vibe you are giving.
Whoa.
You are giving as I never get money now, I won't wife.
Yes.
If I get money now, like 15 wives. Ladies,
somebody said that you will not know the true attitude of a man until he has money.
You know that this one is not even hiding it. It's not like Hakimi.
No, it's not hiding.
Hakimi is even dangerous.
But do you know,
right?
I will never promise a woman that I'm going to marry only her. I will never do that.
I saw your status. I saw your status.
That I'm going to promise. I'm going to tell you that you are the only one. You need suffering, but you are the only one.
God, I cover myself with the blood of Jesus.
Let me tell you some things they saw. Women are wicked.
Men are wicked as well.
Women will show you shege
banza. And I'm not even capping. Some men, not all. Because we have
if I marry, I don't go tell you only I won't marry. If you do weary, take your thing, they go.
Do not take his advice, please. Do not responsible men.
Men,
like Lega would say,
men, make sure you have bastard
responsible men.
Make sure you
we have to
have
go.
bastard
We
money.
have to go. All right, so we still have a whole lot to talk about. I wouldn't even lie because we just like
Actually,
scratched the surface. We have a lot,
And it's very
but we
interesting,
cannot
for real.
continue.
Could have just continued this conversation. All right.
Because we still have reactions, a whole lot of reactions that we couldn't take, but then we had. This is where we have to draw the curtains, right? Do we still have? Can we like take? Just give me one lesson you learned from Hakimi, just one. Any other one aside
lesson.
from what you've said so far?
One lesson.
Yes.
I don't think I think the lesson I learned from Hakimi's story has been the one I've already been familiar with. If you have bastard money like athletes like that, all you have to do is to get a prenup. If you love that person, get a prenup. Okay, when you want to leave me, I'll give you like 20% of what I have.
I agree with that.
You get like 20% of what I have, and that is cool. You know what you're getting yourself into. So if I have billions or I have trillions, you know, at least at the end of the day, you're still just you have just 20%.
Yeah, I think that's what some of these celebrities do as
and
well.
when you just tell me that
you
don't want to sign their prenup, that means you have motive, you know.
Exactly.
So,
then that time
exactly.
you would know what to do, you know, from there. Thank you so much, Maleek. Thank you so much for doing this with me. It was so fun, interesting. You know, I can't wait to do this with you some other time, you know, other trending topics and all of that. All right, where can we find you on social media?
All right, the only Maleek. The only Maleek, like the only Maleek with 2 E's, Maleek on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. The only Maleek.
All right, and you can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, on everywhere. Firstly, I'll start with Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at Spills and Thrills Pod. On Twitter, of course, just follow Olu_Kanyinsola. Every update, everything is always there on Twitter. On TikTok, of course, it is Spills and Thrills Pod as well. My name is Kanyinsola Olukoya. I'm a media presenter, events compare. I'm a red carpet host, voiceover artist, radio presenter, podcaster, everything. Sorry, I think they will beat us if we stay longer than now.
Yeah.
All right. So please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please. Maleek, help me beg them.
All right, guys. Anything me, make una press subscribe, click the like button, drop a comment. It doesn't cost you anything. Check Spills and Thrills Pod on YouTube.
Yeah, of course.
And Olu.Kanyinsola on Instagram.
On Twitter.
Show us love on Twitter too. Same thing, yeah.
Yeah, no. On Instagram, I'm Olukoya_Morenikeji. Well, you will know.
All right, guys.
All right, they're sending us away. We got
Peace out.
Peace.
Peace out.
Bye. Thank you.
Àdúrà tẹ̀yin náà àgbà.
Agba
Peace
o.
out.
Ó dàárọ̀ o.